Welcome to Faith and Beyond YouTube channel. My name is Claire, and for my new subscribers, welcome, and for my return subscribers, thank you so much for sticking by. And I am going to try to introduce this YouTube channel once again. I have had videos in Kinyarwanda, and I have had a few of my friends who really wanted to know what we're talking about. And I don't think I really have a way of translating the two videos, but what I have decided to do, I have come along with my sister, and we have got a few of the questions, and we have put them together to see if we can answer a few questions from those videos that can highlight what we're talking about in those two videos. So where I am coming from to come on this YouTube channel is to create a community of mothers and parents and sisters for special needs children. Before we go into the questions, I would want to introduce to you, if it is your first time to come across my videos, because now maybe you understand the language that I'm using. I'm a mother, I'm a wife of 10 years. We, together with my husband, we have 3 boys, ages 9, 7, and 6. And one of our sons, Ryan, who is 9, he has special needs. So on Mother's Day, I made a video on wishing mothers a Mother's Day and encouraging them to keep going, even though things are not going well or things are not the way they wanted them to be. And I also have another video that is also in my language that I was encouraging them on how to live this life when you have a child with special needs. So that's where we are coming from. My sister has all the questions that we have put together. They are around 20 questions. I don't know if we will be able to cover all of them in this one video. If we don't, we promise to make a part 2 of all the videos. So I am introducing to those who don't know Yvonne. This is Miss Yvonne. She is one of my favorite sisters. Don't tell my other sisters about this. But she is the youngest of the girls in my family, and I am the oldest. So there is that bond and the relationship we have together. So Yvonne, what is the first question?
When did you come to know your son's situation?
On the day he was born, I had an intuition that something was not right with him. I didn't know exactly what it was, and even the doctor that was there couldn't identify exactly what he was seeing. And on the day we were released from the hospital, that's when the pediatrician came in to check on him, and he said he has things that shows that he might have special needs, but he didn't know exactly what it was.
Okay. What was your first reaction when you got to know that he had some special needs?
When the doctor told me that he might have special needs, my first reaction was no, not my son. But when we got home, in a period of a week, he started reacting differently from other little babies, the newborns. He was crying uncontrollably, and it scared me. Reflecting back on what the doctor had told me and what I was seeing at the moment, so it scared me a lot.
When did you share it with your family and friends that your son has special needs?
It took us a long time to share with friends because we also didn't know what it was. It took us 3 months for him to fully show the signs that he had special needs. At 3 months, that's when he had seizures, and we rushed him to the hospital, and that's when the doctor recommended us to take him to a different hospital. So it took a period of 6 months for us to know that he has special needs, but we also didn't know the kind of special needs that he has. So we told a few friends that were around and family members. I think that's when you got to know, and my other sisters and my parents, that Ryan might have some kind of special needs, but we didn't know exactly what it was.
Yeah, you couldn't put a finger on it.
We didn't have a diagnosis.
Sure. Do you feel socially isolated because of your son's situation?
No, I think it's because I didn't know exactly what he had in the beginning when he was a little baby. We used to go to church together. When my husband and I would go out to eat, we would take him. So by the time he showed all the signs that he has special needs, he was already out. So we kept going and going. And even today, I don't feel isolated because I think everybody around me, they know Ryan.
Yeah.
Whoever knows me know Ryan.
Yeah, I think I do remember very well when you got the medicine that he wanted or he needed. By then, that is when he stopped crying, and it was a little bit easier for you to move around with him. But before, it was hard.
It was kind of hard to take him places, but I remember at the age of 1, he was good to go because he had started medicine.
Yes.
He had stopped crying, and he was not having seizures.
Yeah.
So it was easy to take him places.
Sure. Do you ever feel like sharing it to other people? Like, is it hard or?
I haven't found it hard to share it with people because I have understood that community is everything that I needed, and I didn't want to isolate myself so that I can end up into depression. And I would encourage anybody and everybody, if you feel free to share, it helps.
Do you feel like it's hard for you to explain his situation or his condition to his brothers?
Sometimes children have questions, and sometimes they want to know exactly why him.
Sure.
And I don't want to tell him that is how God chose him to be, because I don't want them not to love God.
Yes.
or to think that God would choose to make this way and the other one the other way, because their faith is still little.
Yeah.
They are still young. So yes, sometimes it's difficult to explain to them.
Sure. Did you get medical help?
It took a long time to get a diagnosis. I had an intervention, but I didn't get complete diagnosis until he was 4.5. So
Okay.
it took us a long time to know exactly what we were working with or working on. So I can't say they didn't give it to me. The problem was that it wasn't there. So they gave me what they can.
By then.
But
How about now?
now I have complete support
Sure.
from medical professionals.
Do you think you got enough help? You ought to?
From medical support or from family and friends?
community, medical providers?
With my family, yes. And with the community is different. There is the community at large, there is church.
Yes.
So people take special needs differently.
Sure.
Some cultures take it differently as well. So it is a mixture of help and acceptance and not being accepted, I would say.
And ignorance.
I think so. I think that is where all the problem lies,
Sure.
because we have not been taught much, or we are not exposed much on the spectrum of different special needs children.
Do you ever feel like giving up
On
because raising a child with special needs, and you have other kids, and you're a wife, you are a sister, and you're a daughter. It's draining sometimes. It takes too much.
It is hard. It is hard work, and raising children in general,
Sure.
it is hard. But if you have a special needs child, it is extra, it is double. But there is a grace for every period. And what I have seen, it is not that I have mastered everything. I take small bites.
Sure.
It is this huge big thing, but the moment I take small steps, I do what I can today, and wait for tomorrow, and then start all over again. But I would say that it is overwhelming, and it is not easy.
Are you worried about future? Do you have any plans about it?
I worry, but I also trust God that He will take us through. Like every parent, you worry about your children. Are they going to go to school? Are they going to be responsible children? So now when you have a special needs child, our son is nonverbal and he is in a wheelchair. So I can't sit here and say that I know exactly how his future is going to turn out to be. But what I know, we as parents, we are committed to be there for him and to support him through the challenges that the journey will bring.
Yeah, I think we all don't know what the future will give us. We have to trust it.
We trusted the
God
process
because He's in the future.
I know, and that is one thing that gives me hope, because God stands in the beginning, and He is far away in the future.
Sure.
So the things that I'm worried about today, He already knows how they will unveil. So I keep reminding myself to have faith in the one who began this family, that He will take us through.
He will, definitely He will. Are you worried about the medication that he takes every day?
I do worry about it, because it is day and night that he takes medicine. So I worry about that.
Sure.
But I also don't have any other option. He has to take it.
Have you ever felt abandoned by your family or friends?
No, I am really blessed to have a family that I have, in the close family, the close friends that I have. So I haven't felt abandoned.
What has God taught you through this journey that you're still on, but you know where God has brought you from and where He's taking you? What would you tell people that you've learned through these 9 years with Ryan?
That can be a video in itself.
Sure.
But if I have to say one word, like to a young mother, you are in the period of your child. This is what they are telling you. What I would say is, God is faithful.
Yes.
His goodness, sometimes we don't see it when we are in a crisis.
Yes.
But I pray that God will open a little door and show you the future with your child. I'm speaking to someone who is in the middle. Like you're just getting
Let me
the
help you.
information.
Let's say you're talking to a mother right now who has received the news, like now, that his son or his daughter,
You're going to make me cry.
yeah, if you have to cry, go ahead and do it. And they were given that result, that his son or daughter has special needs. What would you tell that? Because it's a journey and you don't know the end, but we talked about that God is in the future. But today you're not seeing God, you're asking questions. You're like, why me? What am I going to do? Who should I talk to? So you are the mother that she's looking up to, or she's asking questions. She's like, who should I go to? I would want you to talk to that mother out there.
I would say, I would tell you to breathe fast.
Yeah.
When we are in the plane, before it takes off, they give you all the instructions of the things that might happen, but they also encourage you to put a mask in case needed. Put it on yourself first. So what I would tell you is to breathe. And another thing, don't be afraid to ask God why. Because he doesn't have any problem answering you that. And I want to tell you that you are not alone. There is a multitude of witnesses that have gone through this journey, that are still going through this journey. But we have seen God day and night. So surrender your heart to God. He is ready to receive your pain, and He is going to turn your pain into testimony.
Yes, I love that. Have you ever taken time to observe your son's strengths?
Yes. And one thing that I know about Ryan, he is one child full of joy.
Yes.
He has the peace the peace that the Bible says that he has, the peace that surpasses all understanding. And he is curious. And it makes me think, what is going on in his brain? What is he processing? When he is looking at something, he is like imagining different things. And he is sweet, he's kind, he is full of mystery.
Yeah. The other question I wanted to ask, how do you balance life as a mother, as a wife? Like you have a son with special needs and he has his other little brothers. How do you manage life as Claire?
Wow. I wish I knew before what I know now. It has taken me quite a number of years to figure out how to balance, I would say, all the things I have to be. I have to be a mom to a special needs child. I have to be a mom to these other two boys who are very active and running, and I go to work. I'm a wife, I'm a sister. But what I would say that I have learned now is to have systems and have routines and know what to do when. So every Friday or Saturday I sit down and plan for next week what I am required to do. I think having systems and planning has helped me a lot to balance the two, or the three.
Okay, as you were sharing, I got another question. What do you do when you're overwhelmed or stressed? Because it is draining.
I have learned to find a me time,
Yes.
of which I learned from you. Thank you. So I am practicing a me time, and sometimes it can be sleeping in, or take a walk, or do something that I really want to do for me.
Yeah.
That one has taken me quite a long time, but I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I to find time and just do something that concerns me, not
Yes.
doing other things, not doing mommy duties.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel like when you're asked to share about your story, about Ryan's story? Because some people do not know his condition. Would you tell them a little bit of his conditions, and how do you feel like when you're asked to share?
I don't have any problem sharing who Ryan really is, because I don't consider Ryan to be I don't want to label him as a special needs, that this is all about Ryan. But if I would explain a little bit about his condition, he has what they call translocation Down syndrome. It's a rare type of Down syndrome. So he is nonverbal, he is in a wheelchair, but that is not just who he is.
Yes.
When I look at Ryan, I go beyond his physical appearance. I look at his soul. I go into his spirit. So I have learned to know who he is through his inner person.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was about to ask you that question. How do you communicate with him? Because you said he's nonverbal, and how do you communicate? How do you do that? How do you go about that?
So because he is nonverbal, sometimes it is hard for a new person to know
Yes.
how to go around him. But people who have lived with us for a long time, they know how to talk to Ryan. Like I had said, we have learned, and I thank God so much, because he has taught us to look at Ryan beyond his physical inabilities.
Yes.
And look into his spirit, because his spirit and his body are totally two different
Yes.
things. His spirit is that lives in this body that is sick. The spirit is not sick.
Mm-hmm.
So every time I'm talking to him, I talk
To his spirit.
to the person that I know that lives in him, who is the Spirit of God that lives through this body that is sick. So I have learned to look at his reaction when I'm talking to him, or when you're talking to him, you know when he is fully into what you're saying or not. Mm-hmm. He can say yes without saying yes,
Yeah.
but you have to know Ryan more.
I think you have to be intentional while helping him.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I've seen or observed, because when you're intentional, you can communicate with him without communicating, if I may put it
you can
that way.
communicate to him without using a lot of words.
Yeah, sure. Because he will not speak to you back, but he will communicate to you.
Yes, I think for an outsider to be able to know who Ryan is, it takes time.
Yes.
But I have seen teachers working with him really good. I have seen his doctors working with him really good. My friends that watch him sometimes when I need to go do something, because they have learned to talk to the inner person that is in him, they know how to talk to him.
Okay, that was my last question. unless you have something that you would like to talk to the people who are following us. And
yeah, I want to thank the community that has joined us, and I am encouraging you to keep coming. This is the support that we get when we get to meet new people and to share our stories. I know you all have your stories there that can impact our lives. That is why Faith and Beyond came in place. I have another question that someone asked me. They said, why Faith and Beyond? So we were brainstorming on what to call this channel, and my husband and I came to realize that our life has been faith. Only faith has taken us through every step of the way, but also going beyond the things that we even thought about, the things we prayed for. So God has done beyond what we thought of or had faith in. So if you find this information or everything that we will share here, if you find it useful to you, or if you know someone who will be encouraged in the stories we will be sharing here, please share. And we would like also to hear your feedbacks. We would like to have a community of people who are ready to pray together and seek God and trust God and enjoy life, even though life is hard sometimes.
Yeah.
But we know that through the hardships we have seen the hand of God through everything. So we thank you so much for sticking by. If you have gone through the end of the video, we have tried to answer the two videos that we had already made through in another language, and we hope this will bless you today and for the rest of your lives. We love you. Bye.